We're on top of this big rock right here. But all around me are these mussel beds full of mussels. And so we're gonna harvest some wild mussels. So we're out here today with the intention of harvesting wild mussels to eat. Right now, it's about an hour before low tide, and low tide is only about 2.5 feet. So it's really not that low. But if you look around, you can see that there's already tons of mussels and mussel beds exposed. If you didn't know, mussels could be harvested all year round. They could be harvested, but they're quarantined from a certain period of time, from May 1st to October 31st. And this is to protect the consumers. May 1st to October 31st are the times of the years where normally it's a little warmer, and with that, you oftentimes get these naturally occurring algae blooms. But with that, sometimes they generate a bunch of biotoxins that accumulate in a bunch of mollusks and bivalves like mussels and clams. And so it's quarantined because once they accumulate those toxins, we could consume them and eat them, and that could cause certain things like paralytic shellfish poisoning, or PSP, as well as amnesic syndrome. You could literally take a quart of seawater and it contains more than 1 million of these different algae. And if you look under the microscope, they're actually really, really interesting organisms. And if there's an algae bloom and they're creating all these toxins, these guys filter it and then they accumulate in these mussels. And this is one of the most sustainable types of foraging. Look how abundant these are. These mussels are some of the most abundant bivalve species that you can find. And there are over 20,000 bivalve species in the world. So this is some of the most sustainable foraging you could do. Look how dense these mussels are. And if you clear, one or two, it also gives space for the other ones to grow into that space. A pretty fat one right here. This one's really nice looking. But you should bring gloves because, cut yourself. So I was here for maybe like 10 minutes or so. And again, the limit is 10 pounds. But this obviously isn't 10 pounds. I have a scale, but I don't think that's necessary here. But this is definitely enough for a meal for now. So as of now, the quarantine for mussels are removed. It's November. But the California Department of Health Services still does periodic testing on these mussels to confirm whether or not they're suitable for eating. And so I'm going to go ahead and call the biotoxin hotline right now.
Hello, this is the biotoxin information line maintained by the California Department of Public Health. This message contains information on current biotoxin-related quarantines for paralytic shellfish poisoning toxins and for domoic acid, which can cause amnesic shellfish poisoning. These toxins are naturally occurring marine toxins that can cause severe illness or death in humans. Cooking does not destroy the toxins. The annual mussel quarantine ended on midnight, October 31st for most counties except Del Norte and Humboldt counties due to domoic acid advisories. On November 19th, CDPH lifted these advisories related to sport harvested mussels, whole scallops, and clams other than razor clams in Del Norte and Humboldt counties. The advisories have...
Okay, so basically you could just call this hotline and they'll give you tons of information about what's suitable to eat right now and which regions of California are quarantined or they have been tested high for certain toxins. Domoic acid is an extremely common toxin found in Dungeness crab a lot, and even mussels, clams. So we need to understand that and we need to be wary of that. But with that said, right now is a great time. Temperatures have dropped, the quarantine is lifted, so that's why we could go and harvest these mussels. And so here's my harvest. There are a bunch of mussels in here that I just picked earlier today, less than an hour ago. And just for fun, like I said, I do have a scale and so we'll see how much this weighs. This is for sure less than 10 pounds. About 1.5 pounds here. So this is the harvest from today. Look at this guy, it's like wide open. It's still alive. It should snap back shut if I mess with it. It's closing. Yep. The one thing we're probably going to want to do is remove what's called the beard. And so this is called the beard. It's what they use to attach themselves onto those rocks. And you could just grab the beard and sort of just yank back and forth. And they should pop off pretty easily. Sometimes these guys could have worms on them, like that guy right here. I don't know if you can see it, and I don't know if it's moving right now. It's probably moving really, really slowly. But it's important to rinse these before you put it in your water, or however you're cooking it. Debearded, took off as much as I could, but if you wanted to and you didn't want these barnacles on here, you could literally just scrape them off of each other like that. But I'm gonna do one final rinse and then get ready for the cooking. So what I'm gonna do now is combine my beer. I like IPAs, so this is gonna be a little bit of a bitter beer. I'm gonna bring this to a simmer. It's already simmering. Gonna add a bit of butter in there. Chopped some garlic the other day, or yesterday. Just gonna add a bit of that in there. The buttery garlic and beer smell to it. And I'm gonna drop my mussels in soon. So after 5 minutes or so, the ones that are cooked should be opened up, and you should discard any of them that aren't open, because that means they're dead. I'll turn off the heat. Ooh, smells like seafood. I'm gonna place them all on a plate, sprinkle some parsley on them, squeeze some lemon on them, and then I'm gonna actually heat up a little more butter and put some garlic in there and get that garlic infused butter and drizzle that on top of this. And let's go ahead and try this out. This looks like a fat and juicy one. Here we go. Wild California mussels right here. That's delicious. Oh yeah. Can't get better than that, foraging for your own food. It's free. And it tastes even better because you caught it and you made it yourself. Oh yeah. That's really good. And that was simple. It's great for you, high in protein, lots of minerals, vitamins. Amazing. And you could still drink whatever beer is left. Cheers.